Waiting for you to arrive again.
Hey guys, Ben with the Mercenary King, bringing an update to my Brawlers. There's some new stuff for it, and honestly, it's pretty interesting. However, I don't really have much to add to it, so I'm going to make this pretty quick. I'm just running these two right now. That's okay. There's no generic Brawler stride, which makes me sad. Brawler fighting Draco Kid. Counterblast 1 during your turn when your opponent's rearguards from the front row, when it puts in the Soul Forerunner. And your Vanguard is Legion. You may pay the cost if you do choose one of your opponent's rearguards in the same column as a rearguard was on it. Retire it. Basically, it gets rid of columns. And there are cards here that attack the front row directly when on Legion, like, say, this guy or this guy. So what you can do is you can kill off an entire column for a counterblast, or for 2 columns for counterblast 2, which is pretty good. Also, in certain situations, you can sort of trick someone into doing it, as well as if it doesn't really need a ability to do it. You just do it, even if you attack a rearguard and they let it die. So yeah, he's pretty useful. 3 draws just for a little bit of draw power. Narukami does not have very good draw power at all. Then I run 5 normal crits that don't do anything, and then I run 4 of these guys. Brawler, Street Flight, Dragon. Put this unit on the top of the deck. If you have a Brawler, choose one of your other Brawlers, rearguards, until end of turn it gets when your Vanguard attack hits, this unit gets plus 3k. Shuffle deck, and you put it on top of the deck. So basically, let's, for giggles, choose this. Okay, yeah, when an attack hits. For giggles, let's choose this guy. So I'm not running Big Bang Brawler, which is what it's really meant for. But the Legion counts as 2 hits. So, if I recall correctly, does it count as 2 hits? But he doesn't count as 2 damage. But I think it counts as 2. I'm going to have to make sure about that. Legion only, by the way, not striding. So I could give it to this. So I can give it an extra plus 6k. With things like Sacred Fish Brawler Koken, that's like a 6k, 12k booster to himself. So he's a 19k booster. That sort of deal. Or, make this guy less shitty when he's placed on a rearguard circle. That's how it really goes with that guy. Not much else to say about him other than he's a great way to get crits back into the deck, which make these guys much more fearsome. Then we have 4 heals, Brawlers to the man, 2 Rising Phoenixes. I don't much care for Rising Phoenix, but I'm running him because I need a little bit of draw, and these guys don't use a soul for anything. 3 Secret Fist Brawler Kokon. Basically, he's to gain power over the fact that they hit. He gets plus 6k, so he's a 13k booster. This, combined with the large amount of retire and things that gain power from retiring, could really get things done and get a high amount of power going. 4 Taunt for Brawler Arc, probably the best Brawler booster, much like the Eradicator booster, Steel Eradicator something or other. He gets plus 3k when opponent's rearguard is put into the drop zone when your Vanguard is Legion. So this is just... Let's rephrase this and move away from Brawlers for a second. Let's say you're playing with Vermilion. You swing with Vermilion and you hit the front row. And you kill them. That means he gets plus 6k. Which, funnily enough, this would also work with Vermilion. Just letting you guys know it. But it would be a counterblast too, but that's okay because Vermilion doesn't really use counterblasts. Basically, these guys can work with Vermilion. That's what it is, but it's a Brawler. And this deck does run a lot of retire cards, so it gets a lot of power. 4 Perfect Shields, just the normal golds, which I seem to get a lot of without really trying for it. Brawler Yojin, When your Vanguard legions, choose one of your rear guards in the front row and retire it. I run 2. You only need 2. And basically what he does is he shows up, bam, bam, kill, kill. And again, not really running, doesn't really need brawlers. Now this does need a brawler. Counterblast 1, Brawler. If your Vanguard with Brawler is Legion, until end of turn, when your Vanguard attack hits, plus 5k. So, 2 plus 5ks, if I recall, if I'm right. You know, if you were running, say, the Big Bang Knuckle, it could be like plus 20k. That's how it goes, and or plus 15k. Not a lot of people run him so far, and I'm not sure why. He's pretty sweet, but he's just here to gain a whole bunch of power and to really put pressure on my opponents. Since I'm running a mostly crit deck, everything is pressure all the time. Then we run 3 Skyhell Dragons, Counterblast 1 if you have a Vanguard with Brawler. Now it says require Brawler. Choose a rear guard with your opponent's front row and retire it. And again, then retire the back row. Military Brawler Elise. During your turn, when your opponent's rear guard is put into the drop zone and and your Vanguard is Legion, it gets plus 3k. So what you can do is, let's say you run a couple of Yojins in the front row and you Legion, you can counterblast 2 and basically give him each of these guys plus 12k, and then replace the Yojins with boosters. Or if you do it like less coolly, you can get plus 6k to each of them, plus 12k to a column, as well as say you kill another one, counterblast another plus 6k to your remaining column. Pretty interesting stuff that way. Then we run 4 Skybeat Dragon. This was actually the old trial deck starter. I'm sorry, main grade 3, but as people realized, it was the worst of the 4 of them, compared to Percival, Wingle Brave, and what was the last one? Pelennor, Wingle Brave, and Garnet Star and Photon. But he's still pretty great. When this unit Legions kill something in the front row with Sky Howl, and it gets plus 2k when it attacks a Vanguard. So really it's to work with everything else and get things started. It's not my ideal ride, but it'll do work. That's the thing. It does work. Is it actually getting darker? Weird. It was lighter earlier. Maybe if I... Is better? Kind of? Huh. I don't know. Bad camera is bad. That's fine. I'm describing the abilities. You guys should know what I'm talking about. And then we have 4 Brawler Shotgun Bro Dragons. When this unit Legions, you may pay the cost. If you do, Counterblast 2. Your opponent chooses 2 rear guards and retire them. If the number of units you have is more than your opponent's, you get a crit. And you'll get a crit. So basically, you give plus 6k to a whole bunch of things. And if your opponent is stupid, you slide in the Brawler into the front row, into the side, and you can counterblast 1. Okay, you choose the front row guy, kill it. Oh, you chose the front row guy again, kill it. What you can also do is if you run Yojins, you can slide in the starter, so you Legion, you kill something in the front row, kill something behind it, kill something in the front row, don't counterblast to kill the thing behind it, and then force them to destroy the last 2. And it gets basically a guaranteed crit, and everything else gets plus 15k if they're the type. This is a brawler deck. Brawlers are not as strong as they used to be. Only Big Bang Knuckle really has a competitive edge, but this is a pretty good build, and it seems to do work, even though it doesn't really win games as much. Then for strides, we run 2 Madu. It's a 10k. If you run Legion, you can return a grade 3 to hand. So it makes striding free. It also gives you a little bit extra cards. 2 Zoras, which is on hit. Kill something, bind 2 cards in the front row. Actually, your opponent chooses a rear guard to retire it, which would activate a couple of your guys' abilities. Maybe. Actually, wait, does it? No, not really, because your Vanguard isn't really in Legion. But it's still a brawler. That's the thing. And then finally, a bunch of Conquest Dragons for the power. Retire something, flip a Conquest Dragon over, retire something in the front row. You get plus 5k for every empty space in the front row. So you can give up to plus 10k to things, which is nice. Yeah, so many things require Legion that you really shouldn't stride unless you want to. But things like Kokon will work because it doesn't require you to be Legion for it to go off. Or G-Break. You know, as long as you're Vanguard with Brawler, and guess what? These are all Brawlers hits, it gets plus 3k. So we can do a lot of work for you early game. Alright, this has been Wheeler the Mercenary King. I hope you enjoyed this build. It's a fun build, not a competitive build. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.